We're back for our MLB Best Bets here on Wednesday, October 8th. All four series play here today, with the two American League series obviously in game number 4 and the two National League series in game number 3. Of course, Mariners up 2-1 after their big win yesterday, and the Yankees extend the series against the Blue Jays as they are pretty heavy favorites today to extend this thing to 5. Now, before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. There is a chance we have no MLB Best Bets tomorrow. I'll say that now because if the Dodgers win and if the Brewers win, there's no games tomorrow. So we'll cross that bridge if we get there. Of course, we will have our college football best bets out on Friday. If there's no MLB tomorrow, I might push the college best bets to tomorrow. We'll see. Anyways, folks, again, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Go check out our NFL, our college football predictions. That is linked in the description down below. Over 4 hours of college football Week 7 predictions, and yesterday we posted our NFL predictions as well. Now that I think about it, no, I don't think we're not gonna do college football predictions regardless of tomorrow. Yeah, we'll save that till Friday. So anyways, let's get on to the first of our 5 best bets. Oh, UFC predictions, Gamrot, Oliveira, Greedo plays MMA, linked in the description down below. Okay, so we're going to do a full 5 best bets today. We have the luxury of doing that today with full 4 games going. So let's kick things off with our best player prop of the day. 4 money lines plus a best player prop, picking straight winners, obviously. And here we go with this for our player prop. Give me Cal Raleigh. Raleigh yesterday hits home run number 62, as was showcased with the fan catching the Raleigh home run, and then, with the dump here shirt, which was something. But Cal Raleigh does it again. Home run number 61 or 62 this year. 61. Home run number 61 this season. Or 62, excuse me, for Raleigh, because it's 2 now in the post. No, 61. I could have sworn his shirt said 62 on it, though. Isn't this home run 61? Oh, no, he's getting ready for the next home run he was going to hit. Got it. Now that makes sense. Okay, because it's like, I thought he only hit 60 in the regular season. Anyways, give me Cal Raleigh today. Guys, we'll talk about the eventual, outcome of this game in a second, but I believe this is a great matchup for at least the Mariners bats, and we start right away with Casey Mize pitching for the Detroit Tigers. 3.87 ERA in the postseason, a guy who had an extremely short leash last week against the Cleveland Guardians in game number 3. No, that was game 2, where Mize only goes 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run. It's a solo home run early in the game, and obviously Detroit loses that game, but it's Valera who goes yard, second batter of the game, left-handed bat for Cleveland. I'm just saying, if Valera can take you yard, I know Cal Raleigh can take you yard as well, and the postseason Cal Raleigh has had so far has been nothing short of phenomenal. Guys, when we look at player props now for the postseason, we are going to depend on the superstars. Big-time players show up in big-time games. That's exactly what happened for us yesterday. Aaron Judge, I'm not going to tell you he's the sole reason the Yankees won that game yesterday, but he's a major reason. I don't know if they get back into that one if it's not for the Judge three-run shot into left field off the foul pole. Again, Judge easily cleared his total base mark yesterday, and now we're looking for it with Cal Raleigh, the two guys, again, who were back and forth and neck in the AL MVP race this year. But so far, Cal Raleigh in the postseason, 3 for 3 on getting 2 bags. As we look at game 1 of the ALDS against the Tigers, he had 3 hits. Very rare that you see Raleigh just have 3 singles, but that's what he had in game number 1. Game 2, he goes 1 for 4 with a double. That'll play, again, a huge double in that game that eventually scored the game-winning run. Obviously, Raleigh doubles off of Finnegan, and then Julio right behind him brings in another run, or brings in Raleigh to score and take the lead. And then yesterday, Cal Raleigh hits the big home run. Again, Raleigh's been very good so far in this postseason, and I'm not too concerned with the Casey Mize matchup. I'm not at all. Guys, Seattle looked very good yesterday, winning 8-4, and obviously those runs were scored. At least 3 of those runs for Detroit were scored at the very end of the game. But Raleigh does, more damage than just that home run. Was it the 8th or the 7th? It was the 9th, actually, where Raleigh went yard. Cal early in the game has an RBI single that brings in Dom Canzone to make the lead 4-0. The Mariners are firing on all cylinders right now, and a big reason towards that is Cal Raleigh. Guys, Cal Raleigh in the postseason has an OBP of 500. And I know OBP doesn't really matter for this, but what does matter? A 462 average with a 769 slug. Again, it's very early in the postseason. Cal Raleigh has a 1269 OPS. Excuse me? I'm just saying. I mean, the big time players are showing up. Him and Judge. So again, shout out to Aaron Judge for coming through for us yesterday. I believe Cal Raleigh is going to come through today. You got to think about this for the Tigers too. If they only let Casey Mize go 3 innings in a game that was not an elimination game last time out, what will they do this time? Will they go into their bullpen pretty early? Because this is an elimination game for Detroit, right? They are trying everything, and we've spoken at this before, and I'll talk about it in just a few moments when I give a prediction for this game. But who knows if we even see multiple Cal Raleigh, Casey Mize at-bats. And that's okay, because for Big Dumper, I don't really think the matchup matters. I don't mind the matchup with Mize, but there's matchups, again, throughout the bullpen that we do not dislike either. Hell, look at yesterday. 9th inning home run for Cal Raleigh off a righty, Brennan Hanafy. I mean, again, it doesn't matter who's pitching. We should be fine with Big Dumper. I believe Big Dumper is going to come through and hit that 60-second home run. I think Raleigh goes deep. Big shot and a big fly in this matinee game in Detroit here for game number 4. And with that being said, give me the Seattle Mariners to end the series. Guys, this is a huge game. And obviously, again, every game in the postseason is huge, but we have spoken about implications sometimes, and that's why, again, we will get to the Yankees in a little bit, but their victory was huge as well. Guys, I believe all of these series are still kind of playable. I mean, it's difficult to win 3 straight games. If you're Milwaukee, if you're Chicago, if you're Philadelphia, and now if you're New York trying to cash in on 2 more, but it's not outside the realm of possibilities. I think anything can happen in any of these series, but at least for this one, I think the Mariners end it today. Now, I told you earlier on in the series when, Detroit won game 1, I was sounding the alarms for Seattle for very good reason. They were going to face Tarek Skubal in game number 2, and I thought, okay, well, they're going to go to Detroit, win games 3 and 4, but how do they beat Raleigh? No, Raleigh, my goodness. How do they beat Skubal in game 5? Well, they got game 2 off of Tarek Skubal, and I think, this is a massive game. If you're Seattle, you're looking at it. Obviously, you do not want the series to go back to Seattle. You want to end it tonight and punch your ticket in the ALCS. But also, you got to consider, okay, Tarek Skubal is waiting for Game 5. Skubal will pitch. He'll have 4 days rest. I can almost guarantee you they're going to go Skubal on 4 days rest on Friday. It just would make sense that they would do that. So expect Skubal to be back. It's a must-win spot if you're Seattle. Obviously, it's must-win for Detroit too, but considering what is coming up, yeah, this game is absolutely massive. Huge game that's being played at noon here on the West Coast and obviously 3 o'clock over in Detroit, Michigan. And don't forget that game yesterday between Detroit and Seattle finished quite late with the 2.5-hour rain delay, and now you're going right back out there in an elimination game. Okay, Bryce Miller, Casey Mize matchup on the mound. I am not a fan of Bryce Miller. Nothing personally. It's just I don't think he's very good on the mound. I would expect to see the Seattle bullpen pretty early in this game. But here's the thing, though, guys. Can Detroit's lineup make Seattle pay? Because normally this would be Brian Wu in the start, obviously, right? Wu threw a bullpen earlier in the week. I would expect Wu to be back probably for the ALCS, at least in some capacity. Don't know if that's starting or I don't know if that's coming out the bullpen. But that's huge if they can get Wu back because your 4th starter and your normally 5th starter is Bryce Miller, who is really struggling. However, a lineup like Toronto will make you pay. I'll even say a lineup like New York, the Yankees will make you pay. I don't think the Tigers lineup is going to make Bryce Miller and the Seattle Mariners pay for the Brian Wu injury. That's what it comes down to for me, okay? I look at the Detroit lineup. They scored 1 run in 8 innings. And yes, they mounted somewhat of a comeback in the 9th. And, the Mariners did not want to get Andres Munoz up, but they had to. And Munoz obviously throws 9 pitches, gets 3 outs. Obviously, the double play, the ball that's sent right to Josh Naylor. Naylor just steps on the bag and ends the game. That's fine. Munoz is definitely available to pitch today again after only after throwing 9 pitches after Caleb Ferguson gave up 3 runs. But I would expect a lot of the Seattle bullpen because I just don't know how deep into the game Miller can go. And at the same time, I expect a lot of the Detroit bullpen too. But guys, can the Tigers lineup make the Mariners pay? No, they can't. They cannot. Oh, they did have 7 hits yesterday. Did nothing with it. Runners of the corners, 1 out, double play. Oh, yeah, it was a fielder's choice actually by Kerry Carpenter, but it should have been double play, and they only get 1 run on that spot. It's just untimely hitting for the Detroit Tigers, unclutch hitting for the Detroit Tigers, and that's what results in an 8-4 loss for them. I get it, Bryce Miller is not the Mariners' best guy. He's the guy that they have to go to, but I don't love Casey Mize in the spot either. you can kind of compare Bryce Miller and Casey Mize stats, at least recently in the last 2 months, side by side. And, Mize has been better, don't get me wrong. He hasn't been exponentially better than Bryce Miller, though. It's a matter of lineups, too. I mean, there is no Marine layer, obviously, here in Detroit. I mean, compare the lineup side by side. Who's produced? There weren't many games in a row where Seattle was going to be able to go out there or was going to go out there and just suck. Game 1, that's traditional Mariners baseball. Game 2, Tarek Skubal. Game 3, okay, Jack Flaherty. That's what we expect you to do to Jack Flaherty. Game 4, Casey Mize. We expect you to score as well. Don't forget, guys, yesterday we went 4-0. Just want to throw that out there. Nerfy cashes, Mariners cash, Yankees cash, Aaron Judge cashes. So, perfect day yesterday, looking for more today. But the way the Mariners play and obviously the power that they hit with, I mean, even guys like Victor Robles is contributing now at the bottom of the lineup, even though Robles has been very good when he's healthy this year. But Robles doubles early in that game in the 3rd inning, right? I mean, just everything. And Robles, right, is the first man to score for Seattle in that game as well. Everything's clicking. And when Seattle is on and when Seattle's actually putting the ball in play and really, throwing out damage, they're hard to beat. They're extremely hard to beat. So, I got to go with the Seattle Mariners here to win game number 4. I get it. It's Bryce Miller on the mound. Detroit's lineup, nobody here is going to no one here scares me at the Detroit lineup. Riley Green was an all-star game starter. Awesome. But Green hasn't done much in this postseason. Colt Keith is batting in the 3 spot. He's batting 167. I mean, there's so many guys in the lineup that just are not contributing. Javi Baez leads them in hits this postseason with 7. But come on now. I can't go with Detroit here. I got to go with the Seattle Mariners to win the game on the road, even with Bryce Miller. I think the Mariners take advantage of Casey Mize, and on to the American League Championship Series are the Seattle Mariners, where they will await the winner of the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees. More on that in a little bit. But first, we move on now to the first of 2 National League divisional games today. Going to Wrigley Field, Cubs, Brewers. Give me the Cubs to extend the series. And I know, again, I've been on record saying I think the Brewers are great when Quinn Priester's on the mound, right? When Quinn goes, they're very good. It's a very accurate statement. Games at Wrigley Field, Cubs, everything, backs against the wall, and Talione's actually been really good. Look at the start Talione has against the San Diego Padres in the wild card round, 4 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. Again, he gets pulled fairly early in that baseball game, but Talione, I mean, the body work he's put together in the last 2 months, nothing short of phenomenal. 1.64 ERA in August, 1.54 ERA in September, and again, a shutout appearance against the San Diego Padres. And I get it, the Padres had an inept lineup at the end of the year, but Talione's been really good. Now, do I think the Cubs win the series? I'll tell you right now, no, I don't think they do. But I think they get one. I think they extend it one more game, and we will get at least one game tomorrow. More on Phillies Dodgers later. I think the game being at Wrigley Field makes a legitimate difference. I think it does. Right? Brewers have been hot. They have been really hot. 9 runs in game number 1, 7 runs in game number 2, and in both games, Chicago gets on the board first. Game 1, it's Michael Busch hitting the leadoff home run. Game 2, it's the 3-run bomb by Seiya Suzuki. And yeah, again, Chicago scored a little bit at the end of the game in game number 1, but really there was not much output and production anywhere from Chicago post the first inning in both those games in Milwaukee. But with the Cubs returning to Chicago, I do think it makes somewhat of a difference. Now, don't get me wrong. You look at the Brewers lineup, it is hot. Jackson Chourio, I get it's 2 games. He's batting .714. Again, it's 1 game. It's 2 games. Jackson Chourio's OPS is 2,000. Yeah. Now, again, it's very early, but look at everyone in the Brewers lineup. It's insane. You take them away from Milwaukee, though, where they have been the best team in baseball in terms of, best home team in baseball. That is pretty easily been the Milwaukee Brewers. You take them away from Milwaukee, though, they're not as great. And the Cubs are a pretty good home team, too. I just think, again, with the matchup of Talione and Priester, I expect both these guys to be really good. The over-under on this game is 6.5, and that's a very fair line to have because I just don't see many runs scored here. I don't think we see any bit of the shootouts. Well, I don't even know if you can call the first 2 games shootouts because Milwaukee's in control for the entire game, but I don't think we see anywhere close to the amount of run production that we saw in those games here. I don't think we see it. I think it's a very low-scoring affair that the Cubs just find a way to win. Eventually, the bats are going to wake up post the first inning, and I don't know how long they're going to be awake for because I look at tomorrow's game, and again, we don't know pitching matchups just yet, but we can expect, I mean, who's even going to go for Chicago tomorrow? It has to be Colin Rie. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, or Soroka. Yeah, I know Rie's been good recently, but we'll see. Again, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I think the Cubs get one. I think they get one. Again, Brewers going Quinn Priester has been really good, and we've detailed again, he doesn't really lose. 13-3 record this year. The Brewers have won 16 out their last 17 games, give or take, with him, even though the last game he pitched was an L against the Cincinnati Reds, again, when the Reds were going on their run. The main reason I'm going Cubs here, though, is you've had back-to-back bad games hitting-wise. Eventually, you got to come through. It's one of these, again, backs up against the wall. It's like the Yankees, right? You lose the first 2 games on the road against a division rival, you come back home and you get one. Now, does this series go how I think the Yankees series is going to end? I don't know. And again, we'll get to New York and Toronto in about a minute. But in this particular spot, I am going to go with the Cubs in a very low-scoring game because, guys, the Cubs have kind of mastered winning the low-scoring game because of the help that they got from the Padres, because San Diego couldn't hit. Chicago had trouble hitting in that series, too, and I expect, again, 2 good pitchers on the mound. I think Chicago just finds a way to come through tonight. And then game 4 tomorrow, I don't feel great about that for Chicago. But for now, yes, I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs. Give me Cubs money line at home, -120. I think Talion, again, has been excellent recently. I know, again, Priester's been good, too. Quinn's been amazing for Milwaukee, but I believe Talion and the Cubs get it done. Somebody's got to step up in the lineup again. Will it be Bush again? Will it be Suzuki again? Or will it be someone like Kyle Tucker? Will it be a Carson Kelly? Will it be a Dansby Swanson with his glove? Will it be, Pete Crow Armstrong? Will it be PC Ass? Probably not. But give me the Chicago Cubs to get it done at home at Wrigley Field. I'm telling you, being at home in Wrigleyville makes a difference. -120 for the Cubs. Next up, we go on to the 2 largest spreads, at least of the game of the day. We have the 2 biggest favorites in both the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers, the 2 teams obviously who made the World Series last year. And we go to the Bronx first. Got to go with the Yankees. This is what I've been saying. Blue Jays. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had it a little bit wrong. I thought, though, the Yankees were going to be able to win yesterday, and I thought they were going to push this to 5, right? Now, I thought today was going to be a Max Scherzer start for the Blue Jays. It seems like the Blue Jays either aren't going to pitch Scherzer at all, or they are going to give him an opener. I don't know which one it is. So, obviously, right, Toronto's got 3 good starters. I guess Scherzer... Oh, my fault. Scherzer's not even on the roster. So, there we are. Toronto's got 3 starters. Gausman, Bieber, Trey Savage, right? We thought, again, Max Scherzer potentially would have had to be that Game 4 start. He's not even on the roster. So here we are. It's straight bullpen game because you don't have a starter left, right? Chris Bassett's your 4th starter, but Chris Bassett is injured. Max Scherzer is not, unfortunately not on a high enough level to be pitching in the postseason, and it's fair because Max Scherzer's got a 5-point-something ERA, so you got to go pen game today, and I hate having to fill 9 innings of bullpen for the Blue Jays in this game. I mean, you are at such a disadvantage. Last night was your game, and if the Blue Jays ultimately lose this series, you're going to look back to the 3rd inning, you're up 6-1 after Anthony Santander hits an RBI single, and you got runners in the corners with 1 out, up 6-1. You got your foot on their throat. Game's over. And nope, keep letting the Yankees back in the game. Judge doubles in the 3rd. Judge hits the home run in the 4th. Jazz Chisholm hits the no-doubter in the 4th or the 5th. Yankees end up winning the game 9-6. Blue Jays offense just goes away essentially after that 3rd inning where they came out so hot and were up 6-1 at one point. That's what we're going to look at here. And Aaron Judge needs to be applauded for his play right now. Again, we needed Judge to get 2 bases yesterday. Not a problem. He got 7. Single, double, home run. They walked him once, and then he grounded out in the 8th inning. And now, again, for Toronto, you've put yourself in a hole now. Because let's just call it how it is. The biggest lock to win today is the New York Yankees. Look at the pitching matchup. It's a pen game for Toronto, and this is what sucks with the Bassett injury and how Scherzer's been pitching. You got to go pen game. Varland's pitching. Well, Varland just gave up the big home run to Aaron Judge yesterday. And the Yankees get to go Cam Schiltler, who arguably should have been getting the start in game number 1 over Luis Gil. Probably should have, but it's okay. Here's Schiltler, who's been amazing, and I get it. He's a rookie. He's 24 years of age, and he's young. He hasn't had many starts. He came up in July. He's had maybe 13 starts, if that. The guy's been productive this season. 2.96 ERA. Last start in the postseason against the... Oh, that's why he didn't pitch. He had to pitch in the playoffs. That's my apologies. I don't know why. I totally blanked on that. Yeah, Schiller went 8 innings, 5 hits, 0 runs, 12 strikeouts. Yeah. I mean, he is your number 2 guy. He is, right? So that's why Schiller's here. Obviously, Max Fried will go game number 5 for the New York Yankees, I would assume, over Luis Gil. But Schiller's been very phenomenal. Now, I'm not telling you he's going to replicate exactly what he did in the wild card round against the Red Sox, because we know what the Red Sox lineup can turn into sometimes. This is just rough for Toronto. Again, it's rough because of Schiller. It's rough because of the lineup that they face. It's rough because of how the Blue Jays collapsed after hitting so well early in that game. And shout out to Ernie Clement, who went 4 for 4 in that game. But, man, oh man. And I thought potentially the absence, or I guess just the injury to Bo Bichette was going to eventually hurt Toronto, because how are you going to make up for, such a player like Bichette? You're now up 2-1, but you need 9 innings out of this bullpen. You need 9 innings. I don't think you're going to get enough production. I just don't think you will. You have 4 lefties out your pen. I believe you got 5 righties. Again, you can get through it, but I just don't love it. I don't like it at all. I do not like it at all. You're playing at the Bronx, short porch, team that's catching fire at the plate, and now we go to game 5. Who starts? It's going to be Gausman and Fried, right? I don't think the Blue... I would consider going Savage, but they will go Gausman, and I'm sure Savage will be ready out the bullpen. Do you think the Yankees win that game on the road in game 5? They might. They might. Again, that's something we'll get to, but we're seeing a game 5, guys. We are undoubtedly seeing a game number 5 on Friday. That'll be the only game on Friday, but we're getting one. And I'm pretty confident that we will. Mariners closed their series. Yankees are extending theirs tonight. Bats come through in a bullpen game for Toronto. Schiltler again was phenomenal in that winner-go-home game in the wild card round against the Boston Red Sox. Expect him to be phenomenal yet. Again, we have to go with the New York Yankees. The Yankees get it done, move on to game number 5, and we will see one for the ages back in Toronto on Friday night. On to our final game of the night. Game 3, Phillies-Dodgers. Unfortunately, I'm taking the Dodgers. Don't like either of the squads, but I believe the Dodgers are going to beat the Phillies tonight. I will say this right now, though. And I want to make this very clear. I believe if the Phillies win this game, I actually think the Phillies are going to win the World Series. Which is a crazy thing to just pull out because of how bad they've been and how they've choked 2 games back-to-back, where arguably, again, they should be up 2-0 right now if they didn't choke. If they can win this game, and here's right off the bat, right? I'm picking the Dodgers simply because the pitching matchup is Yamamoto versus Aaron Nola. That's the main reason I'm doing it. Okay, it's actually the only reason I'm doing it. If Ranger was pitching this game, I would be taking the Phillies. And this is why I believe if Nola can somehow win this game for them, again, the Nola-Buehler stack, great, they will go to the World Series and they'll probably win it. That sounds crazy, but hear me out. Phillies win tonight, which I don't think they're going to do, but if they do, you get Ranger game 4, and then you get Sanchez game 5. Now you're talking. You are. Unfortunately for the Philadelphia Phillies, you got to go Aaron Nola tonight. We've known the Nola speed bump was always going to be there. And that's why winning game 2 was so important. Again, winning game 1 was huge, but if you could have won game 2, which you should have done, right? You go to Los Angeles as 1-1. Just gotta win the Rangers start. And then Nola, we'll see. That's why, again, Ranger was supposed to be game 3. And then Nola was supposed to be game 4. I guess the Phils just are going, all hands on deck. I assume they're doing this so just in case they need Ranger to pitch tonight. Again, you do everything you can to get to the game 4, obviously. If you need Ranger to pitch today, I guess you can. And then he'd probably be back again for Saturday if you need him. I think that's the mindset here, and they're hoping they can just get a really good game out of Nola. I can't pick the Phillies here. I can't do it. The way they've played. I mean, 2 choke jobs back-to-back. You're up 3-0 in game number 1. You choke it because Kike, again, devil magic. And then, obviously, Teoscar, it's the 3-run shot. Game 2, you're down the entire game. You have no clutch hitting, but here comes the 9th inning. Nick Castellanos guesses right and pulls one into left field. You scored 2 runs, no outs, runner on second base, and you bunt. He gets thrown out at third, and then obviously you lose. Disappointment is what the Philadelphia Phillies has been. And again, I'm telling you, if they lose tonight, they're blowing it up in the offseason. Obviously, there are pieces you have to keep. Harper, Turner, but I would think say goodbye to Schwarber, say goodbye to Ranger Suarez, say goodbye to JT Realmuto. They're just not going to be willing, I think, to pay all these guys after another failed postseason run. It's going to be a straight teardown. We have to try to rebuild this farm system, which hasn't really been all that recently. Unfortunately, I'm going the Dodgers. I mean, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going tonight. I wish I could come out here and tell you guys, normally this is, public's on Dodgers, everyone's counting the Phillies out. This is where we turn around and say Phillies. I want to say that. And I think there's a possibility if the Phillies can just make this game close and keep it tight going into the 6th inning. But then if it does, okay, do you pitch Ranger now because your bullpen's been so bad for you? I will say this, Nola's been a little bit better. His last start of the regular season gave Phillies fans a lot of hope because he went 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 run against the Minnesota Twins. Again, a AAA lineup with the Minnesota Twins. And a couple starts ago, he pitched 6 really good innings of shutout baseball against the New York Metropolitans in the second week of September. But the Dodgers are at home, man. I don't know. The Dodgers are at home. I hate it for Bryce. I do. I absolutely hate it for Bryce. I hate it for Schwarber. I hate it for Trey, but I got to go with the Dodgers here. The Dodgers are so beatable. Just believe this. Guys, they're so beatable because of how bad their bullpen is. They have one good pitcher out of their bullpen. It is Roki Sasaki. That's it. They have nothing else out of their bullpen. If the Phillies, if they can just chase Yoshinobu out of this game, there's a chance. I don't know why I'm kind of talking myself into Phillies money line right now, but I'm not going to do it, okay? If you want someone to bet on for some nighttime viewing, go bet on our best college football bet today, UTEP Miners money line from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Again, that's our best bet for late in the night. But I believe the Dodgers will win. Guys, the Phillies offense has been nothing. They just went to Los Angeles and played really well early in the month, and that has to give you optimism, if anything, if you're a Phillies fan. But I can't rely on it. I can't bet on it. The Phillies have screwed me 2 nights in a row. I can't do it again. If they win today and they don't use Ranger Suarez, I think they are winning the series, and I think they will probably still win the entire thing because that's just how momentum works in baseball. However, I just don't think they can get over this hump. Again, they needed to get over the Nola hump eventually. But they thought, okay, Nola's going to pitch, but we're going to have some insurance because we're going to win at least 1 game at home. Unfortunately, you failed to do that, and incompetence from Rob Thompson and just poor play all around has put the Phillies in the spot that they are in. And ultimately, I have to go with the Los Angeles Dodgers to win the game. Dodgers money line, I mean, if you want to play it, go ahead. Dodgers money line minus 175. Again, I wouldn't play it personally. Folks, thank you all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for Wednesday, October 8th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow again for more daily MLB Best Bets. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever. Actually, we might not be back for MLB Best Bets tomorrow. If not, we'll see you on Friday. Folks, thank you all for watching, and Mamba forever.